Hey there gamers, DreamcastGuy here, and today we're talking about a big leak that just came out that apparently confirms that every Xbox game is coming to PlayStation 5 and is coming to the Nintendo Switch too, but the reason this is surprising is specifically what was named was Halo. Halo is currently in full-blown development for the PlayStation 5 Pro, and I want to talk about this because it does feel like this one is different. Porting old games, porting random stuff, porting RPGs or Hi-Fi Rush or whatever, that kind of stuff. I understand the AA or low AAA games coming to PlayStation because it's easy extra cash, but this feels different. Xbox's mascot, the guy who's literally on the box for the Xbox, even when you buy a Series X, it's Master Chief. It's John Spartan standing there ready to tell you to boot up. It's time to play Halo. And the fact that this specifically is coming to PlayStation, I think this is a big deal. I think it is a sign that now Microsoft needs PlayStation. But let's talk. Hi, hope you're having a great day. And if you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, this leak is from Nate the Hate. Now, anybody who's been watching my show for a long time knows I did a podcast with Nate for like 6 years, the Spawncast. I was part of it. He was part of it. I literally have shirts with Nate the Hate. So, yeah, when he leaks stuff, he is very, very certain in his leaks. I mean, obviously, I've talked to him off camera a lot. He's the kind of guy who hears a lot of different stuff, but he doesn't want to leak it until he's had a bunch of people confirm it to him. He doesn't just want to throw stuff out there. So when he said this, everybody's paying attention. The Master Chief Collection is coming to PlayStation 5 in 2025. So he posted it in his podcast. Now, it's called the Xbox Predictions, but at a certain point, he basically was like, okay, you know what? This isn't a prediction. I'm just leaking it. I'm telling you exactly what I've heard. Halo the Master Chief Collection, Flight Simulator 2024, and the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion remake are all coming to the PlayStation 5 and to the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, a lot of people are asking how in the world it's possible for Flight Sim specifically to run on something like Nintendo Switch 2. That game is hundreds of gigs of install size, and it's heavily reliant on clouds. I think that Flight Sim is going to be completely just a streamed version, like what the Nintendo Switch 2, there's like a very bad streamed version of stuff like Kingdom Hearts and Resident Evil and stuff like that. I think that's what they're going to do for this. But the Master Chief Collection, putting that on Nintendo Switch, absolutely awesome. But this coming to the PlayStation 5 feels significant. It feels, in a way, kind of frightening. A lot of the replies are people saying stuff like, well, I switched to PlayStation after my 5th Xbox 360 and failed. Haven't gone back, not joking, I would pay $100 for this. I think this is very, very cool. I am massive fan of every single Halo. Good Halo, bad Halo. I know a lot of people like to bag on stuff like Halo 4, Halo 5. I love Halo, and I have from the very, very start. In fact, I used to compete in Halo tournaments. I didn't win a lot, but I did compete in a lot of Halo tournaments. This coming to PlayStation feels weird. Now, I wonder if this is sort of an effort, a last-ditch effort to try and make extra cash on already existing IP, because what comes to mind is the fact that this is stuff that already exists. We've been seeing a bunch of this, which is where an Xbox Game Studio game gets made, whether it's Hi-Fi Rush or Pentiment or Quake or whatever, and then they take it, and once it's fully done, they hand it off to this group called Project Latitude, whose job it is to essentially optimize a game to hell and back so it perfectly runs on the PlayStation 5 Pro. So the fact that now it's confirmed that games like Doom the Dark Ages, all of this stuff is confirmed for the PlayStation 5. And that's crazy to think about the fact that these are big budget games. But look back, a lot of these are older. Sea of Thieves is years old. Grounded is years old. A lot of this stuff is games that were clearly ported to make easy extra cash. I think that's partially what this is. I think to some small degree, this is just an effort to go, okay, how can we make some easy money on a game that's already done? Taking Halo and putting that on PlayStation, it's going to make hundreds of millions of dollars. It's going to sell like crazy. People are going to be making entire compilations of popping trophies, getting platinums. It's going to be huge, especially if they bring over Halo Infinite at some point. Having that community. Having that live service game get boosted, that would be a massive, massive fresh audience. PlayStation gamers are very hardcore. But here is the tweet that I've seen a lot of people kind of laser focusing on. This is Xbox leaker Jez Corden, and he basically is saying way more than that. Way more than just 3 games. Everything is coming to PlayStation 5 and to Nintendo Switch, which means what about things like Gears of War? What about Fable? Like, he has talked about in the past, Jez Corden has already leaked that, even though he hasn't heard it specifically, he says that I think it is a very safe bet to assume that Fable is coming to PlayStation because the dev costs are so high. I mean, literally, hundreds of millions of dollars being spent on these games to sell 1,000 copies to Xbox fans and boost Game Pass numbers by 2%. This feels like a very big deal. If they release it physically as well, oh man, I'm not mentally ready for the online discourse of Xbox being dead and going the route of Sega, but here we go again. I just find it interesting. Literally every reply is like, oh my God, I'm pretty sure that leaker said the same thing back in 2023. I'll believe it when I see it. Nate the Hate, from my understanding, is a solid source. Yeah, this is why I believe it, is that Nate the Hate is the kind of guy that he doesn't want to get, he doesn't want to get stuff wrong. He is very careful. He's very good about verification. He's very good about doubling down, tripling down before he talks about stuff publicly, just because when it comes to leaks, the reason I'll never do leaks, I've done a tiny bit of leaking in the past. Yeah, I hear stuff. I hear stuff I'm not supposed to hear. I get told stuff I'm not supposed to know. But I'm not going to leak it because, honestly, a lot of times, if you're wrong, you get slammed forever. And if you're right, a lot of times people forget about it. That's part of the reason I want to really give Nate the credit here, is because not only is this an interesting leak, but his leaks are right. So many of these dudes do feel like they're kind of just throwing out guesses. In this case, if he's heard it, I fully believe it. Halo on PlayStation will be a huge day to remember. Feels unreal, but it's very likely to be true. Bro, what? If this happens, what is the point of an Xbox console? What is Microsoft doing? Shaking my head if it's actually true. They have a different strategy, just like putting Office on Mac. This is actually a very good point to kind of end on, which is that Microsoft is a $1 trillion company, but 99% of the money they make is from Windows Excel and selling you Windows itself and things like, Microsoft Office, Microsoft Word. That's what generates a majority of their entire profit. And Xbox has always been a fun pet project. Here's some extra stuff we're doing. Here's an ability to sell some hardware and have some physical space on your entertainment center. And now I think they're getting to a point where they're like, okay, can we make Xbox actually profitable? Can we really just tinker with these levers and see if it'll spit out some cash? Can we port stuff? Can we take stuff? Can we give fans everywhere a chance to buy for $70 a brand new Xbox game? It seems like this is their attempt to put Mac everywhere. This is their chance to put Halo everywhere. This is their chance to take the hype of freaking Flight Sim and Oblivion remake and just saying, hey, if you've got $70, just buy it. Or there is the Game Pass route if you do have an Xbox. But these have just been some off-the-cuff thoughts. How do you guys feel about the idea of this coming? Because upfront sounds impossible, but here we are. Thanks so much for talking to me or watching the video. If you could, please give the video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.